Kristen here, and welcome back to my channel. If you're interested in minimalism, simplifying, and healthy living, then stick around. So by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about some ways that I save money and some frugal tips and tricks that I've learned through the process of making poor decisions and learning from them. The first tip I have for you that has saved me so much money is using products until they are completely out. And I mean squeezing them out of the tube, out of the toothpaste tube, or out of your conditioner or shampoo container, using all your product. A lot of the times we can throw products away and we could have used it like 10 more times. Even like Dawn dish soap or like whatever dish soap you use with your dishes, I will a lot of times put water in that and shake it up, and I can go another week off of the soap that's in that bottle. And that's quite a bit of soap that's left in there. My second tip is to meal prep. Now you've probably seen some of my videos where I talk about like meal prepping a little bit, and because I'm often feeding myself and only myself, instead of cooking every single meal, like 2 meals every single day, that's a lot of work, a lot more cleanup. I will meal prep. Usually I'll meal prep on the weekends, sometimes beginning of the week, it kind of depends. And that's when I'll cook all my meals. So I'll cook like 3 different things and I'll make extra or have extra because I'm making like a whole pan, and then I'll freeze it or put it in my fridge and eat it throughout the week. Tip 3 is make your drinks at home. So if you really like coffee, if you really like lattes, if you really like matcha, if you really like tea, making it at home is really rewarding. You get to learn this new skill. It can kind of be like a mindful, like relaxing practice or habit that you do every morning when you wake up. I don't know about you guys, but I just really enjoy making tea every morning. So I don't know if you're a coffee drinker, a tea drinker, or whatever you prefer, set aside some time to make your own instead of driving somewhere and just picking it up. I mean, getting like a fancy coffee from Starbucks, anywhere from like $5 to $10. And if you're doing that every single day, that adds up really, really quick. My fourth tip is eating out less. So choosing wisely in terms of when I'm eating out and how often. So usually I will eat out about once a month, sometimes less than that. There's the occasional time where I'll eat out like twice in 1 month, but usually that's my limit. And the reason I've set that is to save money. Eating out is so expensive, so expensive. The next tip is to use reusable items. Now, initially this can be a little bit more expensive, but I found that for me, it aligns with my values of wanting to be kind to the environment, but also it helps me out because, well, yes, I have to fork over a little bit more money initially to buy the product. I'm saving money long term. So an example of this is I recently purchased a safety razor. And the awesome thing about it is that not only does it give you a closer shave than like the plastic ones, but it's so much cheaper. I think I probably paid like $40 for this, and it came with all the blades, and the blades are like super cheap and they usually last me like a whole month. I can use a blade and then I replace it. And the nice part is it saves me so much money. I used to be buying like the plastic razor. I go through them like crazy and they're expensive, y'all. So I found that I like this a lot better. It's metal, it's heavy, and it just works really, really well. Is these reusable paper towels. So I've talked about them in my cleaning videos. It's the Cloud Cloth. It says this cloth can replace 1,500 paper towels. You just get it wet, and it works as a great paper towel. And basically I usually use it for about a month and then I'll throw it in the wash. Depends how often you're using it, but I'll use it to like wipe down my table or my countertops, and then I'll just throw it on a cold, gentle cycle and let it air dry, and then we're good to go. So yeah, this has definitely saved me a lot of money and helped me not use paper towels. There are a lot of other items that are reusable, like you can do like the reusable cotton rounds, you can glass plates and cups instead of paper or plastic. You know, there are so many options out there. The sixth tip is doing a no spend month. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but basically you set some limits in terms of spending, and you kind of have a calendar for that month of what you're buying, and you decide initially, well, what are you going to be spending money on? So things like necessities like rent, utilities, products that you use every single day that you need, would obviously be excluded from your no spend month. You'd have to spend money on them, but basically you're just spending money on your necessities. You're not like buying clothes or shoes or specialty makeup items. You're just buying what's necessary and what's needed. And I found through this process, it's actually really rewarding, and it gets easier the more that I do kind of no spend months. So I really love that. And you can set your restrictions or how you want to do it, whatever way that works best for you. My next tip, number 7, is to put 15% into your retirement. So like if your work has like a 401k or a Roth IRA, something like that is a great way to start putting your money away and letting it build on interest, compound interest, and really help your money grow. And again, if you have this automatically taken out of your paycheck, you don't really see it, you don't really know it, but it's building and building and building in terms of your retirement. And if you start in your 20s or even in your 30s doing this, it's going to add up very, very quickly. And some companies will even match it, like what you put in, or like after so many years of you working there, they'll like put more money in, which is a great perk. It's a good habit to get into, is putting money into retirement, and your older self will thank you, because you won't be panicking at age 50, 55, 60, even 70, because you're set. You have your retirement set and you can retire early. I also do like money and savings too. I try to do at least like 10%. So I'll do 15% gets withdrawn, I don't even see it, into a 401k and a Roth IRA, and then I have 10% that goes into my savings automatically. The next tip number 8, pay your bills first and then buy things, okay? So bills first. This means your rent, your utilities, maybe it's a mortgage, food, clothing, shelter. Those are the main things you're focusing in on. And after that, then deciding, okay, how much am I putting into savings, and then how much do I have left over? Because you really dig yourself in a hole when you buy things or put things on payments before you've paid your bills. Then you end up in situations where you aren't able to pay your bills, or you get charged because you're late. Next is tip number 9, and that is the 24-hour rule. Now with the 24-hour rule, basically this means that if I'm shopping for something or I see something online that I like, I have to wait 24 hours to buy it. Now, for some of you, you may need longer. You may need 48 hours or 60 hours or maybe less time than that. But for me, 24 hours works great. I can save it however I want to. And then 24 hours later, if I still want it after 24 hours, then I can buy it. But it prevents me from impulse buying, because a lot of times when I'm shopping, whether it be online or in a store, a lot of times those items can be impulse purchases, right? And so to prevent that, I delay that impulse 24 hours. And now that I'm not sad anymore or in my feelings, I'm able to critically evaluate and think, do I actually need this item? Or was this just something that my fantasy self wanted to get, or something that just isn't going to be beneficial for me, and I'm going to waste my money on and not use it? My last tip, budget, like an actual budget. And this is how much I actually get after taxes and everything is taken out. This is my take-home pay, okay? And then here are all of my bills. So rent, utilities, mortgage, phone bill, electricity, all the things that you have to pay for, right? Get it on a list, get it on a budget, and figure out how much to the penny am I spending in every area. And then you can more critically evaluate, what am I actually spending my money on? Because a lot of times we don't even know. Our money is just, we swipe that credit card, we swipe that debit card, and we aren't really feeling it in our soul, in our head, in our heart. We're not really feeling that that money is gone, or really even keeping tabs on what we're spending. But if you budget and you write down every single purchase, and I mean every purchase that you ever purchase, that you ever buy something, you will be very surprised when you start this process, the amount of money that you're spending on things that you don't even realize. And that's why at the end of the month, you're like looking at your money and you're like, why do I have no money in my account? Well, because you aren't budgeting and thinking about how much money am I actually spending each month. So some of these tips are harder to implement, but I would just like to encourage y'all to just try them out and see how they work for you. If you guys have any other tips of ways that you save money, comment them down below. I'd love to hear how you guys are being thrifty or saving money with things. It's a beautiful day to simplify, and I will see y'all in the next one. I love y'all, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.